Hello. Been a while. Been dealing with a multitude of issues that were preventing me from streaming. Mostly just internet being ass. I'll probably get into a little bit into that later, but like, oh boy. And then also I needed to upgrade my RAM. I needed to add more because my PC was starting to have issues, and I think my old RAM is also just kind of starting to slowly go because there were just like crashes, like program crashes all the time because it was being like overloaded. So I had to replace my RAM. So a combination of those two issues kind of prevented me from being able to stream. So also hello Bree, and thank you. It's good to be back. I've actually missed doing this, so alrighty. Let's go ahead and swap over here. But yeah, the short version of like the internet issues is Comcast. That's the really short version, is Comcast. Back when my speeds were upgraded, like, over a year ago, I asked if they were going to be sending me a new gateway. And they said no, and I was just like, but you do realize that the current device I have that you gave me is not going to support the new speeds, yes? And they were just like, it doesn't need to be replaced. It'll be fine. It's just like, well, okay. Don't fucking tell me that I didn't warn you. Don't say that I didn't warn you once this inevitably dies, like 1 to 2 years down the line, because it's been like pushed well past its limits and it's like fucking failing, okay? Hey, surprise, surprise! Guess what happened? Exactly what I warned them about. Like, it's almost like I actually went and studied this, huh? It's almost like this is like part of where my knowledge base is. But yeah, no, don't listen to me. I know nothing. So, yeah, Comcast. Comcast is the reason. Also, I hope Kels feels better. I know what that's like. So I hope they feel better soon. But anyway, into readings. Enough about that. Enough about fucking Comcast. I could go on about Comcast. Comcast is... yeah. I cannot wait to drop them. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And also, when I didn't even tell you, like, okay, there's one other part, and this kind of just goes to show you, like, the sort of fucking, like, company and, like, where, like, Comcast places their fucking priorities, okay? Okay? So, when I got my new device, I was having trouble, like, connecting it because it wasn't going to the correct phase that I needed it to. So I contacted, like, I contacted them through, the chat service they have. The motherfucker I talked to tried to fucking upsell me and tried to get me to agree to a new contract, which I'm not in a contract right now. I haven't been for about, like, well, since I upgraded my internet. I haven't been in a contract. So about like 1 to 2 years. This motherfucker tried to upsell me in the middle of like trying to fix my issues, and I put a lot of emphasis on try to fix my issues here, okay? Try, because I ended up doing it myself, because he couldn't do shit. But he tried to upsell me and tried to like sell me new internet and put me on a new contract. And like tried to get me to like confirm it without really explaining what was happening. Because that's what they do. They take advantage of people. Okay? If you're ever dealing with customer service through Xfinity, and they ever try to get you to agree to something, that means they're trying to sell you something, by the way, so don't ever fucking do it. If you have to approve something, don't. Okay? Unless you can get them to clearly explain why, don't ever fucking do it. So, yeah. Yeah. Fuck Comcast, okay? Just fuck them. They're like the scum of the earth. But anyway. Readings, let's get into that. Because I could keep going. I really could. I really could. Like, they're fucking terrible. In so many ways. On so many levels. Okay? Anyway. Let's see what message you need to hear today. Oh, we're gonna get this sort of message now. This is our message today. This is our message today. I already saw all of 2 cards. This is our message today. Oh god. These cards look very familiar. It's almost like we just got these recently. Oh. Reference? Okay. It looks like they all want to fucking be upright, so that's great. That's great. I'm doing collectives, but my queue will be open shortly. I always open up with at least 1 or 2 collectives before I open the queue. just beginning with the first collective here, so. Okay, so we have 2 of coins. 3 of wands. 5 of wands. 8 of swords. And justice. Do these cards look familiar to you? These cards look familiar there? So essentially, all about, essentially, there's kind of like a vibe of like trying to balance too many things at once. Okay. Trying to balance too many things at once, and things are probably a little bit out of like whack right now. On some level. And essentially there's a lot going on here. Essentially, energy is just kind of like all over the place. And you're being asked a little bit to just kind of like reprioritize a little here, okay? Just reprioritize. And focus on yourself and what you want to do, okay? Don't worry about like any things that you feel like you're obligated to do currently, okay? Those can wait. Those can wait. And also, are they truly obligations? Like, are they things that you actually have to do? Are you just doing them because someone else wants you to? Make sure you're doing things for you, okay? Make sure you're doing things for you. In both senses of that phrase. Make sure you're not, like, letting people influence you and influence your decisions. And also make sure you're doing things for you in the sense that you're taking care of yourself, okay? Okay. Like, yes, there may be things you need to take care of, okay? There may need to be, like, daily, like, chores and obligations and, like, all of the daily life stuff that you need to take care of, okay? But make sure you're actually properly balancing that out. And not just spreading yourself so thin that you just don't have anything left for you. Okay? Make sure, again, you're not, like, doing things for others because it's something they expect of you. Make sure it's something that you're actually aligned with and that you actually want to do. And in that same vein, don't compare your progress to the progress of others, okay? Because what works for someone else may not work for you. It's okay to get ideas of what you could try from other people. Just make sure you're not comparing yourself to them. And just trying to do things exactly the same. Okay? And eventually things will come back into balance. The balance is what needs to be worked on here, okay? make sure you're balancing self-care with... Make sure you're balancing self-care with the mundane, okay? Just a few things at a time. Let's see what the Oracle deck wants to add. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got love and strength. Hello. Queue's not open yet, but it will be shortly. Just gonna finish off this collective here and then it'll be open, okay? There we go. Okay. Love. This card is an invitation to examine love in all facets of your life. This is love of self, love of others, your healthy or not so healthy boundaries, your presence with others, your relationship with intimacy, if you feel seen and heard, passion, joy, and total responsibility. This card could signal a need to build a better relationship internally, or maybe with a partner, in your business or work life, or even towards a goal or hobby. It could also be a reminder that love is a choice. Sit with these questions. Do you actively work on your relationship with yourself? Do you feel you trust and respect yourself? If you have a partner, do you feel balance in the relationship? Do you feel balance in your friendships? How do you feel in your work environment? What is your relationship with passion? Do you make time for it? What about with intimacy? Do you feel comfortable with it? Do you feel love avoidant or love addicted? What is your attachment style? How do you express love? Our relationship with love in all its forms is always in motion and flux. When this card makes itself known to you, it simply means you should spend a day or two witnessing how love lives in your life. Well, I like how there's specifically a mention too about like a balance with like work and stuff, because work-life balance is definitely like a vibe here. That applies to like the mundane stuff even too. Okay. But yes. Very much goes in with that vibe of taking care of yourself and making sure that you're actually putting yourself first, in the sense that you're actually making sure that you're taken care of and also that you're doing things for you. Okay? And strength. This card indicates a time where you need to tap into your reserve of strength and resilience. There may be things coming up in your life right now, They require your courage and the willingness to be uncomfortable. Our ability to adjust to any transition, loss, or change will depend on our patience in riding out the storm. Sometimes we have to do this without a map. Whatever is coming up for you right now, understand that it will pass and you just need to believe that you can move through it. So in other words, just keep holding on to like any of the struggles that you're dealing with right now, any of the unfairness that you're dealing with right now. Just keep holding on and keep like remaining strong, okay? Like, it will pass. Any of the heaviness you're feeling, any of the heavy emotions you're carrying, okay? They're not permanent. They will pass. And these cards, this card has a stone association, or an animal association, a plant association, and a stone association. The animal association for this is orca. The orca is also known as the killer whale for its hunting ferocity, but is simultaneously thought of as a gentle giant. They live in the same pod for their entire life, and they rely on one another to hunt and protect the pod. In this way, Orca shows us that we are not alone. It encourages you to hold counsel and call on community as you navigate the rough waters. Sycamore is the plant association. The sycamore is one of the oldest species of trees on this earth. The name sycamore comes from the fact that the tree looks sickly. The old layers of bark tears and peels away, making way for the inner bark. This results in a collage of different hues of brown, green, and white. It is a reminder that while we may be going through trials and do not feel strong, we are growing through our determination to endure. Call upon Sycamore as a guide in getting in touch with your strength when you feel uncertain and shaky. Allow yourself to simultaneously hold your strength and your vulnerability. As I've said many times before, courage and bravery isn't about the absence of fear. It is persisting and moving forward despite those fears, because those fears will always be there. And the stone association is labradorite. Labradorite is a stone that can open up our psychic and intuitive abilities, while also strengthening our will and protecting our personal energies. It is helpful when we are working through challenges and need to protect ourselves from getting drained or taking on things that are not ours. It is also a teacher of paradox. When we feel the weakest, it is a reminder that at the opposite end of that spectrum is our power. While it may feel like polar opposites, they exist on the same continuum, and you can transit between them. Use labradorite as a teacher of self-preservation and to help you see the strengths in your perceived weaknesses. Okay. So, again, it'll pass. It'll pass. Information from the Eventide Affirmations deck. Wow, they really want to emphasize this, because this was the first card to immediately shoot out. I invite myself to relax as often as I need. Take time for yourself. They really want to emphasize that. Okay? Take time for yourself. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and open the queue here. Okay, queue is open. So, you can go ahead and join now. Okay. Just 1 second here. Need to find something else. Okay. Before I get into your reading here, let me go ahead and take a drink of water. So it looks like we have an ad starting in a few seconds here. So I'll go ahead and wait, since you're probably going to get stuck in an ad break. There's the ad break. You're all good, Egg. Hello. I hope you're doing well. Okay, ad break should be over. But, hello, Egg. I hope you're doing well, and it's okay. No worries. Okay. Are you ready, Bree? Okay. message does Bree need to hear today? Okay. Okay, we got a real simple one for you here. I forgot to silence my phone again, but I can't go silence it because that's my phone being used as a camera. Whoops. Anyway. You have the Six of Cups, the Empress, and the Nine of Wands. So, essentially, you're being asked to nurture yourself here, okay? Nurture. Nurture that inner child, whatever that means to you. If there's anything that, like, if there's anything that you liked to do in your past that perhaps you stopped doing, that you enjoyed doing for, like, a significant, like, part of your life, this doesn't even necessarily have to go, like, back to, like, inner child. If there's something that you used to do that you stopped doing for whatever reason, maybe now's the time to look into that again, okay? Maybe now's the time to look into that. There is, like, that definite, like, vibe of, like, not getting stuck in the past here. Like, don't get too stuck in the past and don't, like, dwell on it too much. But it's mostly just about, like, nurturing. Nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, and picking up those things that you perhaps stopped doing, okay? Right. But just if there's something that, you know, something particular that, you know, you enjoyed, doing, that you stopped, perhaps because, you know, like, not saying that this is, like, the reason or anything, but particularly, that's especially the case if there's ever, like, something that you stopped doing because someone told you it was, like, stupid or something. Like, don't let them dictate your life. You do you. But really, it's just nurturing yourself, nurturing just that that inner child energy, okay? In yourself, within yourself. And I know for some people that's like a bit of a confusing phrase or like a bit of a confusing concept, but the way that I see it is essentially it's healing that trauma that we've carried with us since we were a kid. Okay? Like those things that were essentially just kind of the things that were taken from us because parents, society, whoever told us that, you know, that was something that we shouldn't be doing. Because it's, you know, that's not something blank does. So. It's bridging the gap between those two versions of ourselves. Okay, it's finding those things that bring back that sense of whimsy and wonder that we held as a kid. Okay? And that's what, like, healing that inner child is, like, all about. That's really what it means. It's finding that sense of whimsy and wonder again. Because it's that sort of energy that helps carry us through these moments of struggle, which is exactly what this Nine of Wands here is all about. It's about, just seeing things through and holding on. Okay? And that's why bridging that gap and reconnecting with that part of ourselves is so important, because it's that sort of energy that will help us stay afloat as everything, like, just like is just complete chaos around us. And that's why it's so important to be true to yourself as well, and not letting expectations of others or society in general just get in your way. Let's see what if you are happy. Yeah. Oh. Hello, ma'am. I thought that was you. This card combo is great. You got Ask Body, which is a ferocious kitty, followed by Ancestors. Ask Body. In spiritual work, the body is often overlooked. There's a tendency to go higher rather than go deeper. This card encourages you to enter into a dialogue with your body. Our physical body holds all of our experiences, our heart, mind, and spirit. It also has inherited significant experiences and traumas that have been passed on in our lineage. To dialogue with the body is to get to the root of the matter, where our minds can only guess. This is essentially like a continuation of the reading that you just got the other day on your birthday. This is specifically, like, that last part, that, like, paragraph that I just read is literally talking about, like, inherited trauma, which is so fitting considering Ancestors is the next card. Generational trauma's a bitch. And then there's a little exercise here that's listed. Sit or lie comfortably, bringing your attention to your breath. Let your body relax and clear your mind. Then imagine dropping into your body. If there is a specific place you want to go, a place that holds tension or unease, then go there. Otherwise, drop into your core. Ask your body any questions that come to mind. If there is anything you need guidance with or are unsure of, bring that to mind. See what it says. Deepening the relationship with one's body will always be beneficial. It will also provide a safe space where you can retreat to when you need assistance. That's exactly like the vibe that I was getting, and like, again, that's why doing that sort of like work is so important. Why like reconnecting with like that inner energy, that inner childlike energy is so fucking important, because that's something that's like we're robbed of as we like grow, because society tells us that anything that is childish or anything that doesn't just like fucking anything that isn't focused on productivity isn't fucking worth it. Okay, that's why they'll always tell you to chase your dreams, unless it's something they can't fucking like profit from and something that they can't take advantage of. Then it's just like, no, not like that. Be yourself. Unless you're a fucking weirdo and you're not like applying to these, like, not just operating within these invisible fucking like social expectations, then it's just like, no, not like that. Or until you have mental illness, then it's just like, no, not like that. It's always be yourself until we can't exploit it, or if it makes us, until it makes us uncomfortable. And that's essentially like why reconnecting to that inner like childlike energy with that like whimsy and wonder is so fucking important, because it's essentially a safe place to return to, okay? When the weight of the world is just trying to crush us, that keeps us strong, helps us move forward and just continue going despite all the chaos that's going on around us. And things are certainly very chaotic currently with state of the world, so you know, yeah. The Jaguar, or there's an animal association for this card as well. There's animal, plant, and stone associations. The Jaguar is the animal association, hence the cat on the card. The Jaguar is an ally in working with the unknown and reclaiming our power. It is a solitary animal, so they are the perfect ally for doing body work. When diving into our physical self, there is a sense of being alone, as no other person lives in your body and no one else has lived the experiences that are held within it. When things arise in our lives, we can find healers, teachers, gurus, and friends who can all hold space for us. But to go inside our body is not only more powerful, it is more intimate. For it is your wisdom and yours alone. For many, this can be a very scary experience. The journey is illuminating, but can also shake things up that need to be looked at, creating a raw energy within us. Call upon the spirit of Jaguar as an ally to dive deeper within yourself, and especially when you fear opening up and meeting the unknown within you. Also, thank you for the sub, Egg. Yeah, and I know that, like, you reconnecting with a you reconnecting with a friend that you had as a kid is definitely just kind of, you know, saying that you are going in the right direction. Like, I feel like he's probably come back into your life for a reason. The guide that is suddenly come back to you. So thank you, thank you for gifting a sub to Brie, Egg. It's actually, I don't know if I've ever actually mentioned this, but, any, like, that goal there that's listed for, like, the new deck from Coffee, yeah, that's why I said hello, ma'am, when I saw this card, because, yeah. She was definitely there. She's around here pretty frequently too. But yeah. But so that coffee goal that's like there for the embroidered graveyard oracle, anytime I get a Twitch payout, it'll also be added to that total. Anytime I get a Twitch payout, it'll be added to that, and this, like, I'm very close to actually getting a payout on Twitch, so that actually may have just given enough with your sub and the gifted sub. So I should get a payout in mid-August. So that'll actually push us over the goal, so that I'll actually be able to get that deck. So just wanted to say that. So because I realized I've never really explained that, like, any revenue that I make from any place, whether that be coffee or like the subs here on Twitch, will be added to that goal. So I think I should be eligible next month now to receive a payout, which means that deck should be funded, which means we'll be able to get that sometime in August. So thank you, Egg. Yeah, I know that feeling too, Brie. I was really into Egyptian mythology as a kid. So, yeah. I felt the pull to him for a very long time. A very long time. And there were also a few others too, but his was always the strongest. And that disappeared for a good chunk of my life until I started, like, getting into my own, like, spirituality and, like, entering my own spiritual journey. Then there was a moment where, like, I felt that pull again, even stronger this time. And it was something that only like increased over time. And then after some events happened back in 2023 and guides suddenly started like making themselves known, he was one of the first. And I was just like, huh? Yeah, I have plenty of resources on that, Bree, if you're ever curious. It's something that I actually need to do myself just because I want to. But yeah, I have a ton of books. So if you're ever curious, again, like, if you ever want to reach out and like talk to me about like stuff and ever hear about like my own journey, feel free to reach out to me. So yeah. And the plant association for this is ash. The ash tree can support us in connecting to all the cells and experiences held in our bodies. The ash is known for how deeply it roots into the earth, which makes it an amazing ally in reaching into our bodies for wisdom. Call upon ash as an ally to explore the past, present, and future within your body. It holds the things we remember and many things we don't. Our past lives also manifest in our current body. Ash can teach us how to tap into all the energies held within our physical self and release them if they no longer serve us. Or it can help us truly embody the lessons they hold. And the stone association for this is hematite. Hematite is a very grounding and protective stone. It is especially useful for body work in the way that it brings the spiritual and intuitive energies into the body so that they can physically manifest. So many spiritually minded people struggle with integration and staying connected with their body. Hematite calls you back into yourself. When doing body journey work, it creates a container for seamless integration with the wisdom you return with. Ask hematite to support you in remaining grounded within your body as you expand within your spiritual practice. Okay. And then ancestors. This card is encouraging you to deepen your relationship with your ancestors and bring whatever you want guidance on to them. If you have not already done so, making an altar just to your ancestors is a good way to begin. You can ask them what they want as offerings and put pictures, if you have them, or symbols of them on it as well. It may be a good idea to take a pilgrimage if possible to the places they once lived. If not, learn as much as you can about them and where they come from. You may ask them if there is any healing that you can do for them. It is important to honor our ancestors and where we come from, so do so however you can. Yeah. What did we just say? What were we just talking about there? Yeah. This card may also signal a need to tend to our ancestral trauma. We can inherit the suffering of those in our lineage. This is an opportunity for you to remove blocks within yourself, but also to release your ancestors from the trauma as well. I will say that this is something that I've actually done. Okay? Specifically, especially with Mr. Sass. Okay? This is something that I've actually done for him. Because he had a very troubled past. So, yeah. That's something I could get into more if you're curious and you ever want to reach out to me, but, yes, that is a thing. It reverberates down our entire lineage, so while we may view it as something that hinders us, try to view it as a way of healing many more than just yourself. Sometimes we can become reliant on the guidance of others. It is important to remain sovereign and independent when holding counsel. Understand that working with your ancestors is different than working with other guides or allies. They will have their own opinions about you and your life. you may need to use discretion. That's why it's always important to like reach out to those that you align with and who hold like similar views to you. And reach out to those that actually want to help you and like see you grow. Okay? So, definitely definitely seems like they want you to actually reach out to them more and just kind of lean on them a little bit more. So don't be afraid to do so. Okay. I am dedicated to speaking up for myself. I am more powerful than I imagine. I can trust that this is an abundant universe. And going very in line with those two cards here, the Oracle cards, I trust that there are unseen forces collaborating with me to create the life I want. So, that would be them, obviously. So I hope that message helps. And we have an ad break. Okay. Good. But if you ever want assistance in finding information, feel free to reach out to me, okay? I have a bunch of resources I can like point you towards. And yeah. There was a deck that I considered using for you for the reading that you got for your birthday. I just wasn't sure if it would fit in with that style of reading. But if you ever want me to actually work with that deck with you, just let me know. It's one of the Oracle decks that I don't use on stream because it's very personal to me. I did feel a pull to it, and I think I understand why. Especially given the 2 oracle cards that you just got. But if you ever want me to work with this deck with you, let me know. There are actually like various like visualizations and stuff like rituals and things that are actually like very useful. Okay. Are you ready, Egg? Okay. What message does Egg need to hear today? Hmm. Next. Okay. So we have the 2 of coins reversed. The 8 of swords. And the devil. So that's a little crooked. There are definitely some self-limiting beliefs that are keeping you held trapped. Keeping you held back and feeling trapped. That need to be released here. That is coming both from the 8 of swords and is intensified by the presence of the devil here, okay? So these self-limiting beliefs, these fears, doubts, and just probably a bunch of like negative self-talk as well. Essentially, it just kind of sounds like you might be being like very nasty to yourself currently. And no. Definitely wants you to knock it off. And just release yourself from this. Okay? Like there's definitely an imbalance here, okay? There's definitely an imbalance. And you need to make sure that you're actually like prioritizing yourself and taking care of yourself and tending to yourself and what you need, okay? Like, don't take on, like, too much shit that's not yours to deal with, okay? And don't try to do a whole bunch at once. It's okay to take things slow. You're not gonna make, like... Things aren't just gonna change overnight, okay? Unfortunately. As much as I wish that were the case. It's important to just take small steps and make small progress. Okay? So, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Because you're doing the best you can with what you have right now, okay? So don't be so hard on yourself. Let's see what the Oracle deck wants to add. There were just two cards that immediately shot out. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a vibe of toxicity with the devil, but it's not coming from you, so... Yeah. We have... Withdraw. And Dare to Dream. Withdraw. This card is reflective of the winter season, the time of stillness, death, and collecting our resources. It calls for a retreat of sorts. While our culture values productivity, doing, acting, and pushing forward, Spirit is asking you to take a break and to relax. Go within yourself, find stillness, gather your strength for what is to come. We often find solutions we need when we step away from all that we are doing and allow ourselves to unfold. Also, I'm really sorry that you're dealing with that, Egg. That is unfortunately something I'm very, very familiar with. I myself only got away from that sort of situation about 7 years ago, so. That's cute. The animal association for this card is fox. The fox teaches us how to find balance between being social and solitary. While foxes may spend some time within a pack, for the most part they are solitary creatures that hunt alone, and then retreat each day to their den or hollow. The fox teaches us how to be comfortable alone, no matter where we are, or what we are doing. Call upon fox if you struggle with feeling at ease in your own company. The plant association is yew. The yew has many incredible techniques that it uses to guarantee its longevity. Among them is the process where the branches grow internal roots so that even though the main trunk may die, a new tree, connected to the original, is already growing. Another process it uses is that when the branches reach the ground, they embed themselves and become roots that lead to the formation of a separate tree. The yew teaches us that to go within always brings a rebirth, and that doing so regularly is a key to our personal development. Call upon you as an ally if you need support in creating a container for your personal hibernation. And the stone association is Pymonite? Pymontite. have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm horrible with pronunciation of, like, stones and minerals and stuff. Oftentimes, when the words withdraw and hibernate are used, people envision solitude and inactivity and possibly a cabin in the woods. But for most of us, this is not possible. We must still live our lives, maintain our relationships, and tend to what needs to get done. In doing this, Eventide is an excellent ally for bringing joy to the mundane and enlivening our senses while we still remain in the underworld, doing our internal work. Okay, and then we have Dare to Dream. Let's see. Dare to Dream. No dream is too big for you. This card is an invitation to step wildly into your dreams, to visit them often, and to ask them what they need from you. Despite what your current circumstances are, and no matter how far away you feel from your dreams, Spirit is telling you otherwise. We often neglect our dreams because we do not know how to attain them, but the process of going after them is a collaboration with the universe. If you show up for them, they will show up for you too. Eagle is the animal association. Eagle's sight is by far the strongest of its senses. In fact, it has the best sight in all the animal kingdom. It is said to be able to spot a rabbit from over a mile away. In the aspect of our personal dreams, the eagle can be an ally for visualizing that which feels far away. A huge part of attaining what we desire is the ability to visualize it. Continue to use your imagination while showing up for what is right in front of you, even if you can't see how they connect. The plant association for this is buckthorn. Like many powerful and magical plants, buckthorn is on the invasive species list. Its resistance to being eradicated is one of the properties we can call upon. If we are to go after our dreams, we will need resilience. Things may try to derail you, and you may even reach a moment where you think, am I not supposed to do this? But keep going. That's a feeling I'm familiar with. But keep going and stand your ground. Buckthorn is extremely helpful when dealing with external influences that may be discouraging. And the stone association for this is ruby. Ruby is one of the 4 precious gemstones and has been considered highly valuable throughout all of human history. It is also an incredibly hard stone, second only to diamond. Ruby can serve as an ally when we are chasing our dreams, as it encourages us to cultivate the durability required to succeed. It being considered a precious stone is significant, as things of value do not always come easily. We must persevere. Where buckthorn is helpful in dealing with external influences, ruby supports the internal. Call on it when you feel small, when your self-talk is not so great, and when limiting beliefs are interrupting your progress. What did I just say? That last line is so on the nose. Call it when you feel small, when your self-talk is not so great, and when limiting beliefs are interrupting your progress. Yeah, I know that feeling. Aww. I mean, if he's anything like Mr. Sass, yes. Of course he will. I don't even think that's a question. Thank you for the explosion cards. So, yes, the answer is yes. Aw.
I draw boundaries between myself and others' energies. I do not take on what is not mine. So. And in line with that, I can ask for support when I need it. You know who's there for support. Yeah. Okay. So I hope that message helped. Of course. Thank you for stopping by. Oh. Is your name pronounced Sapphire? Okay, just wanted to make sure. Are you ready? Okay. Emily works too. Okay. What message does Emily need to hear today? Yeah, the color can feel scary, but the tower is one of the cards that I actually welcome. It's not a card I fear. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm sorry. Sometimes those tower moments can be rough, but sometimes what would only hold us back and hinder our growth does need to be removed. Sometimes it just happens in very explosive ways. Okay. Right over first. And right over first. Right over first. That's sideways. Okay, that wants to be upright. Or reversed, rather. Okay. So we have the 6 of Coins reversed, the 4 of Wands, and the King of Swords here. Which is essentially telling me here, the 6 of Coins reversed is kind of telling me, there may be some, like, imbalance going on here. With, like, or, like, some sort of imbalance, in some dynamic of some sort. Whether this be for, like, whether this be with, like, a relationship, with, like, someone close to you. There's definitely, like, a feeling of, like, kind of being... something being one-sided here. And an imbalance in, like, some sort of, like, dynamic. which and definitely there's a vibe of like some unfairness that you're dealing with from coming from someone. And it seems like it's probably leading to you like getting really down about yourself and feeling like really down and being really hard on yourself. This feeling maybe kind of causing you to essentially just withdraw into yourself a little bit, and might be keeping you like you're hesitant, essentially, is kind of like a feeling that I'm getting for some reason. There's definitely like a sense of hesitation and fear there. Essentially, you're being asked essentially to just take time for yourself. Take time for yourself, spend time having fun, doing things that you want to do, and make sure you're staying true to yourself. That's for me what the King of Swords energy is about here, and what it most commonly is for me. It's about staying true to yourself and remaining loyal to yourself and your own beliefs. It's standing up for what you believe in, standing up for yourself, and remaining true to yourself, okay? So, don't be afraid to set boundaries in places where they might need to be set. But most importantly, just don't be afraid to just kind of pull back a little bit. Do the things that you want to do. And just take some time out for yourself and just go enjoy yourself. And have fun. Do something that you enjoy, okay? Yes, they are. Kills. Also, hello. They can be very, like, it can be something that's very hard to do, and this might be where that hesitation is kind of coming in. Because you might be afraid that it's just going to, like, change things. Or... you might just be afraid to stand up for yourself, because, you know, past experiences and stuff, perhaps. And yeah, sometimes when people are trying to take advantage of you, setting boundaries, like, to them just kind of feels like an attack. And then they just lash out at you. But that's a them problem, not a you problem. You're not responsible for managing their emotions. You're not, there to be taken advantage of, okay? So. Okay. Okay. And then we have Underworld, which is very fitting for this. Underworld. If the Underworld card comes to you, it is either an invitation to go within yourself, or it serves as an acknowledgement of where you currently are. If you do not sense you are in the Underworld, then this card is asking you to take a pause and allow the things that need to fall away to do so. If you are in the Underworld at the moment, it can often feel like it is trial after trial, loss after loss. Fitting after you just mentioned the Tower card, because that's kind of how the tower feels, and it often feels like a personal attack. But the way that I like to see those like tower moments and like the tower card in and of itself is it's removing the impermanent and what isn't meant to be, and what will only hinder your growth moving forward, so that you can grow into a better expression of yourself. And sometimes that doesn't make it any less difficult. Those moments are still very hard. And sometimes it's just yeah, like it can be very hard to deal with sometimes. Also, sometimes people are just, you know, when it involves like people and like situations involving people, sometimes it's not really so much that, and just, you know, like people are assholes sometimes. So in that case, not really anything to do with you, that had nothing to do with you, and it's just like the problem with the other people involved. But at least then you can kind of just see it as a blessing in disguise, because they showed you how they really are. Like that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. But hey, you said barely passed, so that means you did still pass. You did still pass. So you still got that going for you. And yeah, exactly. Nope, we have an ad break. Shit. Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome. Just in case you're stuck in an ad, I'm going to pause here. I'll go ahead and take this moment to get a drink. Ooh. That's cool. I hope you enjoy that, and I hope it goes well for you. Yeah. Most of, well, not most of, like, I know what that, field is like. Pretty much all the women in my family, well, not pretty much, all the women in my family have, they've always been part of, like, the nursing field in some capacity, so I was kind of the first one to not. So I know how difficult that field can be and the sort of shit you have to deal with in that, so yeah. I'm sure it can be a bit difficult at times, but aw. That's sweet. I love that. But yes, at least you still have them in your life to support you. Okay. Like, so You still have good things going for you. So, yeah. But essentially, yeah, just kind of sounds like essentially leave this shit behind and just make sure you're doing things you want to do. So oh yeah. Exactly. And that's kind of what the tower moments are there to teach you. It's to return you to yourself. So I welcome those moments, and one of my guides is quite literally like embodiment of like tower energy, so okay. If you're in the underworld at the moment, it can often feel like it is trial after trial, loss after loss. It may also feel empty and uncomfortable. The underworld is where we die and are reborn. It holds the fire of transformation. So many people resist being in the underworld or try to rush the journey, but this card is asking you to settle into it and surrender. Give yourself permission to be in this in-between space and welcome the changes to the best of your ability. While we are in the underworld, we need to allow ourselves to be there without anticipating the rebirth. We must simply be there. So, yeah. May have been a hard time for you, but... aw, yeah. I'm sure she would have been quite helpful. Yeah. I'd imagine that, it seems like if it hasn't ended already, it's like on its way out. So. And it seems like you're already going in the right direction there if it's on its way out. So. You're already realizing, like, you're already integrating the lessons and the messages that were there in your tower moment. And it sounds like you're well on your way. It's just rebuilding into something better. So, yes, it sounds like that moment is over, or at least coming to a close. So yeah. Because that Four of Wands there is a card that's all about like celebrations. So yeah. Okay. We have okay. We have I draw boundaries between myself and others' energies. I do not take on what is not mine. Very much going in line with this sort of like one-sided imbalanced sort of energy. One-sided relationship slash like imbalanced relationship, like right here. So definitely don't take on what isn't yours. I work to be mindful throughout the day, continuing to come back to my center. And I can find the wisdom I need within myself. So, yes. You have what you need to keep carrying yourself forward, okay? Just remember that you're strong and you got this shit. Okay? So I hope that message helps. Yeah. Probably. You're welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. I haven't really worked with her, but she seems lovely. So. Same to you. Same to you. I hope you enjoy your position. And I hope everything goes well for you there. Hell yeah. Hmm. Hi, Kels. Are you ready? Surprised Adam's not here yet. He must be like really busy at work right now. So he had to close today, unfortunately. Okay. What message? Kels from the future. Ah. Your guides just really seem to like efficiency. Like these did the same thing they did like for your reading that you got a couple days ago. They just like fell out in a chunk. They're just like efficiency, bitch. Here you go. Okay. Upright. Yeah, that's sideways. Upright or reversed? That landed upright right on camera. Okay, everything. Upright or reversed. That one's staying reversed. Okay. Upright or reversed? Eh. Upright or reversed? Upright or reversed? Okay, we want to go upright. Okay. So, definitely, like, things, definitely may still feel like a bit of a struggle currently. but there may be like some things that essentially, so upright the moon energy would be like internal struggle, or just like periods of struggle and stuff, and like carrying heavy emotions sometimes and being unsure of like, there's like no sense of direction and just feeling lost and just a lot of like unknown. Reversed though, here it's definitely just kind of giving off like that feeling of just like, you may not be certain of like where you're supposed to go right now and what direction you're supposed to be moving in right now, and things may be very hard and you may feel very discouraged by the way that things are going right now. But this will eventually clear, okay? This fog will lift, you'll have this sense of certainty and like know where you want to go, and you'll have an idea of what you should be doing and stuff, and like the wheel is turning. You're about to like turn the corner and head into this like direction with more clarity, okay? And this essentially just like passion, that inner fire will be reignited here, okay? So don't give up yet, okay? Don't give up yet, and don't lose hope. So good. And let's see if the oracle deck was dead. How fitting. How fitting. They got plans for you. Fate. There is definitely that vibe. When they throw out this card and they're just like, correct. This card is a reminder that you create your fate. While some lessons and experiences are inescapable, you have free will and choice within the life you are given. This does not always equal fairness, as we do not all start life from the same footing. Nonetheless, each choice we make matters. From this place, we can approach the creation of our life in an empowered way. This deck was inspired by the Norns, the three mythical creatures that rule the destiny of humans within Norse mythology. The name Norn derives from the word meaning to twine, referring to how they weave the threads of fate. Fate is seen as a malleable thing with some fixed aspects. This card's partner is the Weaver. The Weaver asks you to tend to the threads. This card asks you to get clear on the fate you are weaving. This card is big picture and all about vision. What are you working towards? What are you saying no to? When we say no, we are saying no to all the experiences that would unfold in the aftermath. Both the yes and the no are powerful when we are creating our reality. So. And yeah, I get the sense that that's where like that uncertainty is coming in, and like that like no sense of like direction, just kind of like lost feeling with like the moon upright. I feel like that's where that's coming from. So it's just asking you, essentially. It's essentially asking you to get clear on what it is that you actually want to do and where you want to go. Okay? And then they'll help you work towards that, because that's what they're there to do. So. So, it's okay if you don't know right now. It's okay if you don't know. Don't be afraid to explore things, explore ideas, try things out and see where they lead, okay? And like, in terms of like job search, don't lose hope with that, okay? Job market's kind of fucked. There isn't really much that is in your control in that regard, so. Okay. Oh, fitting. I know that while I might not see it, everything is working in my favor. Okay. Well, I hope that message helps. But yes, things will change eventually. But right now, don't worry if all you can do is just... Don't worry if, like, the place you're in right now is just, like, the vision stage. The idea board stage. The vision board stage. Okay? Once you actually do figure out what it is that you want to do and where you want to go, then you can focus on actually like taking action on things and planning things, okay? Can't do that until you get a clear sense of direction. So. Okay. I suppose I'll go ahead and issue a last call for Q here. You're welcome. Thank you for stopping by. So if there is still anyone who wants to join, I'll leave the queue open for a few more minutes, so. Okay. Probably go ahead and close the queue. So I think I'll just go ahead and do so. I'll just close out for the night, I suppose. Okay. So. Let me take a drink here. Let's go ahead and see what our closing message is today. What message would you like to close us out with today? Okay. Next. Next. Okay. We have Two of Swords. I literally just said that to you earlier, Egg. What the fuck? I literally said that word for word to you earlier. Well, that's great. Okay. Oh yeah, weren't 2s and 5s like significant for you? That's funny. Okay. So we have the Two of Swords, the High Priestess, and 9 of Coins. So, don't let this fear the unknown keep you stuck. Like, keep you stuck in this, like, place of just, like, paralysis, okay? Like, there's a lot that's out of your control, okay? And I know that may be scary to deal with when you have no idea how things are going to turn out, okay? It's very daunting, but don't let that fear get in your way, okay? Don't let that fear get in your way. Confront those fears, face those fears, and perhaps step a little bit out of your comfort zone. So, don't keep yourself stuck in this place. follow those internal calls, those internal, like, pulls that you feel, okay? Let spirit and your own intuition guide you. Like, if something doesn't feel right, pay attention to that, and then make... Am I getting a call? One sec. Get out of here. Fuck. Sorry. Forgot to silence my phone, and my phone is being used as a camera. So. Don't be afraid. Oh, then of course we have an ad break. I'll wait a few moments. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. As soon as I'm done with this, I will get you... I'll pull that card for you. So. Okay. Ad break should be over. So. Don't be afraid to reach out of your comfort zone, and confront those fears and that fear of the unknown, okay? You can, like, follow where you feel called to, follow those, like, feelings you get, okay? If you try something out and you realize, like, it's not for you, or you realize that it doesn't feel right, you can always change your mind, okay? You can always change your mind. So don't be afraid to let that guide you. Because it sounds like that's how you get to those rewards and where you're supposed to be here, okay? And let's see. What's going on? One side. Oh boy, we have the Outlaw and Manifest. The Outlaw. When you pull the Outlaw card, it is time to go against the grain. It can be scary to do this. All humans at some point or another have received the message that conforming is necessary for survival. In fact, we are hardwired to be that way. Early on in human history, the individuals that were outcast from their tribe would not survive. That still lives within us. The fear that if we go against the pack, our survival will be threatened. But the outlaw gives us the courage to stand alone in stark contrast with that which is widely accepted or normalized. The outlaw pushes for progress within the collective. The outlaw is a good ally for when we are working on breaking free of limiting inherited patterns and beliefs. A balanced and healthy outlaw lives by their own personal compass. They are honorable and live with integrity, but it may not always be how others perceive right and wrong. For example, they won't say stealing is bad no matter what. They will ask, why is it being done? What is it for? Unbalanced outlaw can isolate themselves, believing that they are entirely alone. This may also turn into destructive, whether internal or external, tendencies. They may also identify too much with being different, and in turn are always in opposition of others simply for the sake of being so. Balanced outlaw is confident and rebellious by nature, but they are not that way for the sake of being rebellious. In other words, they have a cause. The outlaw asks for a give no fucks attitude. In order to do great things in the world, we must not get caught up in how the herd views us. We must keep going forward with that which we believe in. Given that, consider examining what radical means to you. In what ways do you live within the boxes that society has given us? In what ways do you want to grow beyond them? I think it is, yeah. I think it is. Like a... We'll see when I actually get to it, because this card will have like a animal association with it, and that'll actually tell us what it is. Yeah, outlaw is all about just kind of like doing what you want to do and following your own inner compass, okay? Don't be afraid to do that. And then we have manifest. This card signals a period of time where your manifestation work would be extra potent. What you have been working toward is on its way to you, going very in line with that 9 of coins. If you feel anxious or obsessive, it is time to release it and let the universe work some magic. When we are working on manifesting, it is important that we do the following. We must be clear on what we want, not what we don't want. We imagine and visualize ourselves experiencing it. This means tapping into the feelings we would have if we did have it. After we have focused on it long enough, we must release it so it can be manifested. This card asks you to examine your process. Are you lacking clarity in your desires? Are you sending the universe mixed signals by focusing on what you don't want or what you lack? Are you too focused? Reflect on how you show up for your manifesting practice and make any adjustments that need to be made. The animal association for this is wisent. The wisent, also known as the European bison. It is a bison, not a cow, but still pretty close. Is considered a keystone species, which means its entire ecosystem depends on it for stability. Everything the bison does, from walking to eating to dying, has a profound impact on its environment. Wherever bison are found, the land, animals, and humans have depended on it as an imperative part of life. When it comes to abundance and manifesting, the wisent teaches us about the interconnectedness between all things. That all things are of use, even the things that may go unnoticed have tremendous power. For example, the wisent is critical in pioneer plants taking root simply by the way it rolls in the dirt and sand. If we were to witness the bison rolling on the ground, we most likely wouldn't think it is helping plants proliferate. Words. We most likely wouldn't think it is helping plants proliferate. It is the same with much of our work. Tiny things can add up to big results. And then the plant association for this is mullein. Mullein rises out of its large velvety leaves, often reaching up to 6 feet tall. If you look at it from a few feet away, it can look like a rocket just after launching. Throughout history, mullein has been used as a torch. Energetically, it can support us the same way. It lights the path for us in our manifesting work. It finds the gateways and the openings that we need. That is one of them. There are many plants that can help with that sort of thing, actually. Pyrite is the stone association. Pyrite's nickname is Fool's Gold, but those that work with gemstones understand there is nothing foolish about it. While it may not be as valuable as gold, it can certainly support you in manifesting some. When we have our sights set on something, it is important that we take action. We cannot simply hope that the universe provides it for us. We must show up and do the work. Pyrite removes blockages and cultivates a go-getter attitude, allowing us to feel worthy of what we are manifesting. Aww. That's cute. Okay. We have... I am a magnet for opportunity. Very fitting. And I give voice to my darkness, empowering myself to transmute it. The end of that manifestation card touched on it a little bit, but that's why it's important that we actually kind of deal with our shadows and those self-limiting beliefs and all that negative self-talk, because if things come along before we've dealt with all that, we might think we're not worth it, and so we'll turn it away. Okay? Ooh. That's cool. So, shadow work is actually a part of manifestation, in a sense. You have to believe that you deserve it. If you keep telling yourself it's not coming, it's not gonna happen, that you don't deserve it, you might turn it away if it makes itself to you. Before you've done all that necessary work. So I hope that message helps. And you do deserve good things, okay? For anyone who needed to hear that message, and just everyone, you deserve good things, okay? So don't fucking tell yourself that you don't. Yeah. Mr. Sass can kind of be like that for me sometimes, but also, not that they all aren't, like, supportive or anything, but, he might not be, like, the biggest hype man that I have. That actually might belong to Raw. So, Okay. And then let's get you your card really quick here, Egg. Is Egg on the right track with finding out background information on what it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. My goodness. Oh. Okay, let's try that again. Part of the deck slipped out of my hand, so that's why I made that noise. Sorry, I don't need that many cards, okay? Alright. So. Is Egg on the right track for finding information? And what? Bring out a card. By all means, yes. Yeah, I heard a laugh in my left ear, and then I said, and then I heard someone say, do it again. So he's definitely just being a little shit. So yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a feeling. Okay. I have to deal with Mr. Sass. Like, all the time. So they get along very well. They probably do get along very well. It would not surprise me if they're like over there just kind of exchanging notes. Like, how can we be like even more of a little shit? What have you done recently? That's funny. So I hope that message helps, Egg. Okay. So. Same. Same. Like, I'm very much just like, that's why we get along so well, and that's why he likes me so much, is because I don't tolerate his bullshit and I just give it right back to him. Like, I give him shit all the time. And I give him like so much fucking sass all the time. Cause it's just like, sir, do you know who the fuck you're messing with? Like, I'm a Latina, bitch. Are you sure you want to fucking do this, sir? The answer is yes. And that, like, especially like when he comes through for like readings from other people, like, yeah. Most people, like, if most people knew the way that I actually talk to my guides, there would be a lot of people who would probably just be horrified, and there would be a lot of pearl clutching. It's just like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Come at me. You will fucking go? We'll fucking go. uh, uh, but, like, obviously, everyone is going to have, like, everyone has, like, their own, like, all, like, spirit, like, guides and stuff. They have their own, like, their own personalities and, like, all their quirks and, like, flaws and all that sort of shit. So, like, some, like, yeah, there are gonna be some, and also, like, they should match well with the energy. Like, similar, like, personality and, you know, like, personality and energy to, like, the people that they're there to guide anyway. So, yeah, that's very much the case with him. He's pretty much like me. So, like, all of them are, like, very, very similar to me, but him especially. And it's just like, gee, I wonder why I fucking get that from, huh? If you ever fucking annoyed with me, you have yourself to blame there, sir. Like, you're part of that fucking problem, okay? You're part of that reason. You're part of the problem there. Okay. And you also encourage it, so, like, fuck you. But yes, obviously there are probably going to be, like, some guides who are going to be more serious, and I've encountered a few that are like that, and I also have a few that are like that. They're a little bit more serious and reserved, but they've also loosened up a lot as well, at least around me, because they've realized that, like, not everything has to be so serious, okay? Like, especially with me, okay? Like, dude, I'm gonna make a joke out of, like, anything and everything. So, you don't have to be so serious. Like, I know this is technically, quote-unquote, work for you. This is what you're here to do, is, like, help me and stuff. But, like, you don't have to be so serious about it. Like, Ra kinda used to be a little bit like that at first. He was a little bit more serious, but, he's not anymore. He's loosened up a lot, and he's... Especially, like, now that, Mr. Sass is a lot more comfortable. They have a very close, like, relationship with each other. They're very close. And so... They're constantly just, like, fucking with each other. So... And that's just kind of how he is, though. That's just how Seth is. He enjoys fucking with people in harmless ways. And just... making people laugh. Exactly. Like, he can absolutely be serious, and he's usually, like, apparently, with most other people, he's definitely a hard ass. Like, he absolutely can be a hard ass and very serious. He's not like that with me at all. Rod tried to be, but it didn't last very long. And then most of the others are pretty, you know, just goofy and silly as well. We're all weirdos, okay? We're all weirdos. And then there's one person here. I won't name him though, but there's one person here who's just definitely. He started off being like very serious, and there were a few times that he was just kind of slightly offended. Not like actually, he wasn't mad at me or anything, but it was just like kind of like that pearl clutching sort of way that I mentioned. It was mostly out of embarrassment, but um uh he tries to be like Mr. fucking serious pants, but he's also like a big softie if like you just allow him to be. Just not all the time. He's usually just all business, but that doesn't mean he also can't be very loving and sweet. So yeah. But yeah, there are quite a few here, and then there are also a lot that just kind of like come and go, that pass through, and not even necessarily my own. But yeah. But yeah, some of them have been like started off a little bit more serious and a little bit more reserved, but they lightened up and just opened up when they realized that they could be themselves and I wasn't going to judge them or like think that they had to be a certain way. So yeah. So it's mostly all fun here. That's where Mr. Sass is for me. Yeah. So he mostly speaks to me through my left ear. Most of the others are on my right. That was where he first contacted me from, so that's where he's remained. Though he will talk to me in like the other ear. Mr. Sass will, so. I also just hear things sometimes based on where they are in position to me, so yeah. I guess that's just where like that little shit chaotic energy fucking like speaks from, huh? Good to know, guys. Good to know. Thank you. But yeah, so there's been a lot of interesting things that I've noticed and picked up on, and I've had a lot of interesting experiences over the past like year and a half, nearly like 2 years. Since I started my journey like back in October of well, it was more so towards like November. But November of 2022. And there's an ad break, because of course there is. Don't you love when that happens? Okay, it looks like ad break should be over. So. Gotta love when you get the same one back to back. That's funny, Kels. Okay. Okay, so with that, unfortunately, I should call it here though. Though I am considering, I would just probably need to go get some food, but I might come back and actually like play something on stream. I just don't know what. Is there anything in particular that you guys would actually want to see? I have no idea what I would want to play is the problem. I have no idea what I would want to play. I could play Diablo, but yeah. I'm sorry, Egg. I could play one of the cat puzzle things that I have. The hidden object games that I have. I might do one of those, but we'll figure it out when I get back, I suppose. So I'm still gonna go ahead and get off here. Just give me about like 20 minutes so I can go get some food. So. Yeah. Good luck with your exams. Heck yeah. You'll get through this shit.